Good morning, students. The topic for today is gas turbine power plant. The figure here actually shows a gas turbine power plant and its parts. Like it will have a compressor, it will have a combustion chamber, then it will be connected to a turbine, then there will be a shaft. Because here electricity will be generated and the turbine will be rotating, and then that the shaft of the turbine will be rotating, and that shaft will be connected to an alternator which in turns produces electricity. Just like in your hydroelectric power plant, also you had this type of generator connected to it, right? So, as an introductory part, I would like to say that the gas turbine have been used for electricity generation in the period of peak electricity demand. Same, just like a hydroelectric power plant or any other kind of power plant. And the advantage is that the gas turbines can be started and stopped quickly, enabling them to brought into service as required to meet energy demand peaks. Like gas turbine can be, it's a very small, like other power plants, is not a very huge equipment. It's a very small equipment which is very can be easily started and stopped, and it's a small unit size, and their low thermal efficiency actually restricted the opportunity for the wider use of electricity generation. That's why it is not used that much. You know that in here in India we use much of steam power plant as well as hydroelectric power plant. I explained to you in the last class. So this gas turbine power plant is less used because of its low thermal efficiency. So a gas turbine power plant obtains its power by energy of burnt gases and air. Here it is burned gas and air. We have another power plant, steam power plant, where we use steam. So gas turbine and steam turbine, actually they are two different. So if you go to a power plant, they will be selling like GT and ST. So GT is gas turbine and ST is steam turbine. They are actually two different types of power plants. Don't confuse it. Okay. So in a gas turbine power plant, we use burnt gases and air at high temperature and pressure. So that's how we get the energy. There we use the water power. In hydroelectric power plant, we used water power. So here what we are used is energy from burnt gases and air. So like a common thing is like whichever is the power plant, alternator is the main part. So in a solar power plant, we don't need an alternator, but whether it is steam or hydroelectric or thermal, whichever power plant or gas power plant, alternator is a main part. So you can see from the figure, this is a typical gas turbine power plant. Of course, you will be taught a schematic diagram where you can understand about the internal parts more in detail. So here we use the prime mover to rotate the alternate and producer. So turbine will be there. So that turbine will be the prime mover, and that prime mover is used to rotate the alternator and produce electricity. Just I am already giving you a basic idea which you can easily understand. Turbine, alternator means a generator only. AC generator is called alternator. We produce AC means called alternator. Alternating means varying current, alternating current. That's why it's alternator. This is all just introductory part, just so that you will understand the remaining parts more efficiently. Okay. So a gas turbine, the thermal efficiency of a gas turbine is 20 to 30% compared with the modern steam power plant. Steam power plant has more efficiency, around 40%. That's why we use more steam. More number of steam power plants are used these days. But in future, there will be a time where a construction efficiency of 45% is possible for a gas turbine. And the main, okay, now you are learning gas turbine, so you should understand where are the applications. Like in a power generation industry, for power generation we use, then aviation industry, oil and gas industry, marine propulsion. So when asked about what are the advantages of a gas turbine power plant, we can mention these points. Like it's used in these areas, it's an advantage. Then it is used in why they are used, because it is self-contained, lightweight, and not require cooling water. In a steam turbine power plant, we required a setup for cooling the water and to fit into the overall shape of the structure. But in a gas turbine, we don't need a cooling setup. We need it's a self-contained, lightweight, and not requiring cooling water. That's why we use it in aviation industry. And it is selected for power generation because of the lack of cooling water. The same, then the need of quick, it needs quick installation and quick starting. So if you have a urgent power requirement, even if the efficiency is very less, this gas turbine can be employed. It is used in oil and gas industry because of the cheap supply of fuel and low installation of the cost. That's why we use in oil and gas, because in the Gulf countries we normally have oil and gas industries and all. In India also we have. So there we use a gas turbine because of the cheap supply of the fuel and low installation costs. And this gas turbine, it has some limitations. So the the topics that we discuss now is the advantage of gas turbine and its applications. Now the limitations. They are not self-starting. It cannot start on its own, the gas turbine. It's a limitation. It has low efficiency at part loads. At the load side, it has low efficiency. You see, 20 to 30% efficiency only it have. It is not reversible. It's not reversible, and it has high rotor speeds. The rotor is rotating very fast, means it's a very bad effect. It's a disadvantage. We need a controlled speed. Then it has a low overall plant efficiency. Overall efficiency is very less. And this actually shows a schematic diagram of a gas turbine power plant. That's just like I told you, it has an air compressor. It will where there will be the air inlet, and it has a turbine where we'll have the exhaust gas, and that turbine. The turbine here will be connected to the output shaft, and that shaft will be connected to an alternator, which in turn produces electricity. So air will be coming in, that will be a compressed air, it will be given to the burner, then there will be a combustion will happen, and it's a combustion chamber, combustion will happen, and hot gas will be given to the turbine. So this I will explain more. This is just a diagram. The more explanation and the explanation for each part is coming. And this is a practical diagram. It will have, because here it is, we cannot understand. If it was a three-dimensional picture, means we could have seen all parts. Like, see, one is the inlet section. Then we have the compressor here. Then the combustion system is there. Then we have the turbine. Turbine is here, then the exhaust system and exhaust diffuser. The same, or you need to draw only this diagram in your exam. Okay, and this is the diagram, like how actually it looks like. Compressor, combustion chamber, turbine, and shaft. These are the main parts. Okay, hope you understand up to this much. Then it's better you draw this diagram for your exam. So a schematic arrangement of a simple gas turbine power plant. See, it has an air compressor, a combustion chamber is there, a gas turbine is there, exhaust to the atmosphere is there, and air intake from the atmosphere, it is filtered and enters the compressor. Then we have the alternator, and then the motor, like output. The output is taken and used to start the motor. Yeah. Then see, the working. The air enters the compressor and it is compressed at high pressure. So inside the compressor, the air will be entering and it will be compressed at high pressure. Then the compressed air enters the combustion chamber and it gains temperature. So combustion means like it is like combusting, burning, it is burning. So temperature will rise. So it will gain temperature. So the high temperature air reaches the turbine. So this high temperature air, it reaches the turbine and air expands at the turbine. The turbine will be, actually it's a prime mover. It is the rotating part. So it will be having blades. So the air, it expands at the turbine blades, and as a result, the turbine starts rotating. And the turbine in turn, it is connected to the alternator. So the expected gas is the gas which get expanded, the high temperature gas expanded. It makes the turbine rotates, and that in turn is connected to the alternator. The alternator will rotate, and we will get the electricity. This is the working of a gas turbine power plant. Then coming to the working in detail, that is, the principle of the prime mover is of turbine type and the working medium is a permanent gas. So the gas, it enters the turbine and in turn the turbine will rotate. The prime mover will rotate. The prime mover will rotate the alternator. So the main parts are turbine, compressor, combustor. Combustor is the combustion chamber itself. This one, combustion chamber itself. Then auxiliary devices like starting, we told you that it cannot start, so we will be using starting devices, then lubricating pump, fuel pump, oil system. These are extra accessories that we used. So what? Sorry, the working fluid is compressed in a compressor, which is generally rotary and multi-stage type. So you just need to learn that the working fluid is compressed in a compressor. The compression chamber is used for compression, and as a result, the temperature will increase. So heat is added to the compressed fluid in the combustion chamber. So that's why the temperature increases. This high energy fluid at high temperature and pressure then expands in the turbine, thereby generating power. See, the in the turbine, the expansion will take place and it thereby generates power. These things I already explained in the previous slides. The part of the energy generated is consumed in driving the compressor and accessories, and the rest is utilized in electrical energy. Now you might think that's the point. Why you have a coupling here? Because the energy generated by the rotation of the gas turbine, a small part is returned back to the compressor. Why? Because it is consumed in for driving of the compressor. That same energy itself is used, and the rest is used for electrical energy. It is given to the alternator and it produces the electrical energy. Okay. Now another topic that you should understand is the advantage of gas turbine power plant over steam turbine power plant. So I told you there is a GT as well as an ST. So they're different. So advantages is like there is no ash handling, then low capital cost and running cost. The space requirement is less, then fewer auxiliaries only used, then can be built in relatively quicker. It can be built relatively quicker, and it can be brought on load quickly to support peak loads. Like in a gas turbine, we can give the load very fast. The starting time is very less. That even though it cannot start on its own, starting time is very less. And the gas turbine plants, they are quite economical for short running hours, and efficiency of the gas turbine is higher than steam when working on a top temperature. Like even though the steam temperature has high temperature, but if the temperature is more than 550 degrees Celsius, means you can say it has high efficiency. Then the storage of fuel is smaller, and handling is easy, and then it can be installed anywhere, and the control of gas turbine is much easier, and less cooling water required for gas turbine plants compared to. So there is a lot of points, and you can remember any 5 to 6 points. Then again, I am giving you more points regarding the working principle of a gas turbine. Like air is compressed to high pressure by the compressor. So that's the first point. That's the function of the compressor. Then fuel and compressed air are mixed in a combustion chamber and ignited. So what will happen? The temperature increases. See, here oil fuel is entering, and here there we will have the combustion, that is burning. So the temperature increases, and the hot gases are given off, which spins the turbine wheels. See, the turbine's expansion will take place, and the turbine blades or the wheel will spin. Gas turbine burn fuel such as oil, natural gas, and pulverized coal. See, if you are asked what are the fuels used for gas turbine, it is oil, natural gas, or they are the pulverized coal. And the gas turbine have three main parts: air compressor, combustion chamber, and turbine. Already explained now. And this is another diagram which will make you understand it more. See, this is the air inlet. Compressor is there. Air fuel is getting injected. This is the in-nozzle through is the fuel gets injected. Here combustion takes place. So compressed gas is given to the turbine. That is the hot gas is coming to the turbine, and this in turn from here it will go to the alternator, and exhaust is coming out. So here there will be coupling, and some form of energy is also given to the compressor. Then air compressor is the air compressor and turbine are mounted at either end on a common shaft with the combustion chamber between them. The gas turbines are not self-starting. A starting motor is required for the gas turbine. The air compressor sucks in air and compresses it, thereby increasing its pressure. Already I have explained all these things. The air sucks the air, compresses it, and the pressure increases. So compression, when compression happening means the pressure will increase. So high pressure gas is given to the combustion chamber. In the combustion chamber, the compressed air combines with the fuel, and the resulting mixture is burned. See, same points which I explained already. The greater the pressure of the air, the better the fuel air mixture burns. So in the combustion chamber, there will be combustion, that the air pressure will increase. So increased pressure is given to the combustion chamber. So it will combine with the fuel air mixture and it will burn. The modern gas turbines usually use liquid fuel, but they may also use gaseous fuel, natural gas, or gas produced artificially by gasification of a solid fuel. So the fuel coming, which form it will be, it is given. Then we have the turbine. All the power plants have turbine. So hot gases move through a multi-stage gas turbine. Like in a steam turbine, the gas turbine also has stationary and moving blades. The stationary blades, it guides the moving gases to the rotor blades, and it also adjusts its velocity. It's a prime mover, so it will be rotating. And the shaft of the turbine is coupled to a generator. Now we shall see two different types of gas turbine power plants. Like if you want to write more, you can understand more. Like you can understand that there will be an open cycle gas turbine power plant as well as a closed cycle gas turbine power plant. From the name itself, we can understand. Open cycle gas turbine power plant means the compressed through a compressor, and the exhaust of the turbine also discharges to the atmosphere. You will have an exhaust. That's why it's open. In a closed cycle gas turbine power plant means in this type of power plant, the mass of the air is constant or another suitable gas used as working medium. It circulates through the cycle over and over again. Like it will be like there will be another part called regenerator also attached to it. I don't think you need that much in your syllabus. So just two types, open cycle and closed cycle, or I shall cover give you more explanation of open cycle and closed cycle also in the next class. Now just understand that closed means it's closed, like it is just circulating through the cycle over and over again. There is no exhaust. Open means it will be having the exhaust. So these are the topics that you should understand. So what we have covered today is like I introduced you how a gas turbine power plant is and how it's work. You know schematic diagram, then the practical diagram also, then the merits and demerits, how they're working and all. Then like fuels, actually the fuels or the use for the gas turbine. Then the general arrangement of the simple power plant and how different parts, compressor, combustion, turbine, everything. Then the comparison with the steam power plant, everything, all these things. Then the two types, which include the open cycle and closed cycle. I hope everybody might have understood the topics. In case of any doubt, we shall discuss it in the next lecture. I shall make it clear in the next lecture. Thank you.